Okay, you guys, as you can see, I am at my folks' house and they have a fruit tree back here. And as you see, it is beginning to harvest with some oranges. Let's see if they have any on this side over here. See, okay, we got some over here. Okay, we got one here. All right. It's harvest time. All right, and as you can see, this is their pecan tree. Starting to get some pecans for the winter. So you can get ready to make those pecan pies for Thanksgiving. One right here. All right. A little some up there. All right. Who's ready for harvest? Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Discovering Your Worth. I am Shaquonda, and today you see we are back in my kitchen, and so that means we are going to be making something, and that something is we're going to be baking some scones. Yes, we're going to bake some scones. It doesn't call for too much ingredients. It basically calls for 3 cups of all-purpose flour. So this is my 1 cup here I'm gonna get started with, but 3 cups of all-purpose flour. And then it also calls for 1/3 cup of sugar. And then it also calls for 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Have that there. And then also it calls for 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay. And then it also calls for 1.5 stick of butter. And so I went ahead and cubed it up already. So this is the butter here. Let me get it out so you can see it. Okay, that's my butter. Okay, and then also it calls for some buttermilk. Okay, so basically, oh, and then it also calls for the zest of 1 lemon. So I have 1 lemon here that I'm going to zest in our dough. Okay, so without further ado, let us get started. Okay, you guys. So I got my mixing bowl here. You're definitely gonna have to have some type of bowl to put your dry ingredients and wet ingredients into. So this is my mixing bowl, and I got my mixer here. So as I said, it calls for 3 cups of all-purpose flour. So this is my first one there. my second cup. Okay, and then that's my third cup. Okay, and then you definitely want to mix that up. Let me get my little stir here. 1 second. You guys, you gotta wash everything. I wash even after I wash it, and when I pull it back out again, I wash it again. Okay. All right, so that is my 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Okay. All right. Then also it calls for 1/3 cup of sugar. And I have that right here. Okay. Get that mixed up in there. Let me slide it back some so you guys can see it. Okay. And just incorporating that into the flour. All right, and then it also calls for 2 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. So this is the baking powder here. Just shake it up to get it moving. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's 1 teaspoon. That's 2 teaspoons. And that's my half. Okay. All right. And again, I just want to mix that up there. All right, mix that up some. Get it incorporated in there with the flour and the sugar. All right. And let's see, we have a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay. Get that in there. All right, and then it calls for 1 1/2 teaspoon of butter. Now I have cubed it up already, so I'm put half of it in there. And you guys, I like to use my hands. So you just want to get your hands in there to get that butter incorporated into all of those ingredients. Okay. And just make sure, you know, when you're in the kitchen and you're going to be using, or if you're in the kitchen, you should be washing your hands anyway. Okay, so, and my hands are clean. Okay, so I am just incorporating this butter into our dry ingredients here. All right, and that's the last of it there. Okay. Okay, you guys, it's just that simple. It is just that simple. Okay, and so once you feel like the flour is going to be all lumpy, but that's what you want it to do. You want it to look lumpy. You want it to feel lumpy, because that's just letting you know that that butter is in there. And that's what we want. We want that butter to get in there. Okay? All right, so I'm gonna wash my hands again. Okay? And then also it calls for 1 cup of buttermilk. Okay, 1 cup of buttermilk. All right, and so we're going to just pour a little bit into our bowl here and mix it up just to get it started, you know. Okay, then this is the rest of my buttermilk. Continue to mix that up. You guys, it's just that simple. We're making scones today. It's just that simple. Now I did mention that it calls for some lemon zest, so we're going to get some lemon zest on here for just 1 lemon. So not too much, just a little bit, just to give it a lemony flavor. And you know, if you want, you guys, you can also, you know, it won't hurt if you want to just dash a little lemon juice in there. So, but this is my lemon zest there I'm adding into it. And like I said, if you want to add some of that lemon juice, that won't hurt anything. That'll just give it more flavor. Okay, let me get that seed out of there. Yeah, that won't hurt anything. It'll just give it more flavor. That's all. Okay. I got a lot of seeds dropping in here. All right. Take those seeds out. All right. Washing my hands. I'm just gonna mix up that zest. That zest smells so good. Gonna mix up that zest and that lemon juice. Okay, you guys, and that's pretty much it. And now we're just gonna form our dough up and cut them into some pieces, and then we're gonna get it in the oven. Okay, so now that everything is mixed up, our batter, I am going to put it on my parchment paper here and then just fold it up to get it formed so that we can begin to form it up. Okay, begin to form it up. All right. Okay. Just gonna form it up till we get it to a good place to begin. good place to where you can begin to form it up. Sticky, so if it's sticky, just put some flour down on there just so that you can form it up. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay. Like I said, if it's sticky, just get some flour just so that you can form it up. That's all. It's just with the buttermilk and then with the lemon juice, fresh lemon juice that I put in there, it can cause the dough to be a little wet. So just put some extra flour on there to get it to form. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna get it. Okay. You know, there's so many types of treats that you can make with this dough, but today we are going to make scones. And so a lot of you are probably saying, you know, how did I get the interest of making, baking and cooking and all that stuff? Let me tell you, my grandmother, that woman will make you want to cook when you taste her food. Okay, so I was blessed to be able to be around her during the time she was here with us. And let me tell you, that woman could cook, okay? That woman could cook. That's just, cooking was just one of the many things she was good at. So, let me, we got this formed up here. And so, still kind of sticky, but it's okay. We want it kind of sticky like that. We don't want it too dry because then our scones will be dry. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. Now, what I want to do is, you guys, I'm always washing my hands, so it's just a habit. Okay, so I want to cut this because I'm not going to use all of this dough. I'm going to make some now and then the rest for later. So I'm just going to cut it like that. And, okay. Now, I'm gonna get this piece here and move this one out of the way and bring this one over here. This is gonna be the one that we're working with here. Okay. So, get this one formed up here. Trying to make sure you guys can see it. Okay. All right. And so you don't have to roll it out or anything like that. Just get it to where, you know, I don't know. I'm used to baking, so it's hard for me to tell you how much you should level it out to be. I can pretty much feel it to tell how it's supposed to be. So, pardon me on that part. Okay. All right. And so, like I say, this is at the part where we're about to get it in the oven. And so basically you just want to, this is all scones here, basically you just want to cut it like that. And then you want to cut it like that. Okay. Get a little sticky. Get a little sticky, just put your knife in some flour. That way it's not so sticky. Okay, and then, you know, you want to cut it like that. Okay, and then you want to cut it like that. Okay. All right, and this is how we're gonna put it in the oven, you guys. Okay, so it's gonna go into the oven at 425 temperature for about 10 to 12 minutes, okay? So that is going into the oven. Just like that, okay? It's going into our oven and we'll be right back. Okay, here we are. Our scones are ready. So like I say, you know, with the scones, you could have done many things with this. You could have put, you know, blueberries in this. You could have put raspberries in it. I didn't want all of that. I just wanted it just, you know, just regular scones. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, how I like to have my scones. You know, there are days I like to have, you know, with the, you know, the raspberries and the blueberries and things like that. But today it's just regular scones. And so I am going to take it off of our baking pan here. Oh my gosh, they are so light and fluffy. Yes, 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 yes. And so, all right, so here's our scones. And so, you guys can definitely make this week, and I'm gonna show you how I like to eat mine. So I'm just gonna grab one here, okay? And let me tell you, this bad boy is very, look at that. I mean, it just is nice and fluffy, nice and fluffy. Okay, so basically you just cut it open like that. Look at that, you guys. Look at that, oh my gosh. And then what I like to do is I take some butter and just spread on top of it like that, just some butter. Spread on top of it. Some butter and spread on top of it. Yes, yes, yes. And then I like to get some jam and put it right on top of it as well. Okay, you can use any type of jam you want. You know, this is just how I like to have my scones, you know. And like I say, you can dress this up all I mean, there's just so many things you can do with this. But I just like regular scones. And I'm gonna give it a try here. Look at that baby there. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So there we have it, you guys. Scones. And it's so easy to make. And so delicious. You can have in the morning to jumpstart your day. And with a nice cup of joe. And you'll be ready to go. Okay? So that is our scones for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up. Share it. And until the next time, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.